I mean, we have an international team, so many different backgrounds, so many different experiences. I mean, I have people who've never even worked in design. Our head of customer success was an AP high school history teacher.
Yeah.
So we have this like mishmash, but everyone's committed and we're guided by those mission, vision, values to put those out there.
Welcome to Modern Entrepreneur. Today we have Russ Perry, who is the founder of Design Pickle, the #1 unlimited and flat rate graphic design service in the world. Launched in 2015, Design Pickle has experienced unprecedented success by helping small businesses focus on what they do best. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, man.
Awesome.
Excited.
So Design Pickle is a design shop that does a kind of like I just said, a flat rate service where you pay like monthly and you get kind of unlimited design resource access?
Yeah, you get matched with a dedicated designer. So we pair you up with one of our full-time staff and you request what you need and that's it.
They get it done.
Super simple.
Cool. And how long have you been doing that?
Since January 2015.
So just brand spanking new, basically.
Yeah.
Awesome. So tell me what you feel like your unique skill set is.
Other than ridiculous branding, which we've done a lot of at Design Pickle,
Yeah.
I think it's really systematizing and creating like simplification out of complex processes. I ran a creative agency for 8.5 years and we were like so complex with how we did everything. And then when I closed that, it was really like trying to make it easy for people to get creative and access creativity. And I found out sort of a method and a methodology to put all of that together into the startup that we have today.
Interesting. And so something about how to systemize like the creative brief, really, right?
Yeah.
Like getting customers to be able to actually tell you what they want so that your designers can do it without like having to go back and forth 400 times.
Well, and sometimes you have to. I mean, I think a lot of people are afraid to like get professional help with design because they've been burned in the past.
Right.
And so our first order of business was just making it easy to just get started.
Yeah.
And that's where I think a lot of creatives, like they throw a wrench in the system. They want to meet you, they want to talk to you, they want to have, focus groups and they want to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
But in reality, people, they don't even know, they couldn't even tell you what they wanted. So for us, and really in design in general, it's just like, let's just get started. And then are we on track or are we off track? And let's go from there.
And you created a process out of that and it's just kind of worked.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you launched just a couple of years ago and you've had pretty significant success. What has worked to get you business? Like how did you grow this thing?
Yeah, I mean, we joke a lot about the pickles, but honestly, the first marketing event we ever did was at the a conference in Arizona, the Infusionsoft conference, and they were out of booth space, and I wanted to be there. That's where we're from, and so I negotiated a sponsorship where I got to be in the lunch area handing out pickles, and we wrapped them with our marketing materials. And I was like, okay, this is cool, but I want to like level this up more. So I got a $30 costume on Amazon and dressed up as the pickle, and like handed out pickles everywhere. It's actually very notorious. People still to this day talk about it, but like the thesis of that was just like hustling, like getting out there, emailing, hustling, telling people about it. That got us a lot of momentum, and then we transitioned quickly to like online acquisition. So Facebook ads, we do a lot of events, and really just like getting the word out there that, hey, there's a new model, a new way to do design, and thus far it's worked. Yeah,
so basically a pretty, I don't want to say traditional because this is all relatively modern, but the currently traditional setup, which is Facebook ads to probably landing pages, converting them, leads, following up.
So we actually tried doing a lot of landing pages, and weirdly enough, it like overcomplicated the sales process.
Okay.
We now we have people go to our site, but it's sort of like, hey, do you need design? Yes or no? And we found that to be the easiest thing. We in fact,
so you sign them up directly.
Just sign them up.
Dispense with all the nonsense.
Because we don't know if you're going to be a good client or not. We don't know if you can write a good email, if you know what you want. So we just want to get you in the system as fast as possible. And if you suck, or no, I should take that back. If you don't know what you want and are difficult to work with, we'll boot you out. But I would say 90% of the people who get in like it because it's new and we're friendly and we really are committed to that outcome, which you don't sometimes get with the design community.
Yeah. Interesting. So so it's Facebook to direct to sign up, which is less traditional, and then hustling, getting out and meeting people, shaking hands, making relationships,
handing out pickles,
obviously. Awesome, and it's worked well.
Yeah,
you've grown to. How many people on your team now?
So we started off with me and a designer and a project manager in 2015, and we just got back from our annual conference in the Philippines, and we had 50 people there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Your internal conference?
Yeah, so that was about 40 designers and 10 of my staff here in the United States.
Great, amazing work. Yeah. Good, so you've gone through a big transition, being a guy that was you and a couple buddies, to now running a serious business.
Yeah.
What is it that you feel like is you're learning right now? What is the cutting edge for you? What's next?
I mean, as cliche as this answer is, it's like how to be like a leader and like a manager and a CEO. I can be the guy, and I was talking to one of your team members, I love being the guy handing out the pickles and doing the hustling, but that's not gonna be the type of leadership that gets us to the $10 million and $15 million mark.
You never know.
But I do know for a fact, that's the key to our success right now is building that core team and allowing those people to grow and succeed. And that's been the biggest challenge because I've never been part of that, large of that organization.
So what does it look like? What are the challenges you're facing and the skills you're learning around beginning to turn into a real leader?
Understanding people's individual styles. We just kind of dove into that recently where we had people do the personality tests and Colby tests and really understanding those team dynamics. Communicating regularly. I can be the guy who gets heads down and wants to build marketing campaigns or launch certain ideas or build new products. We've been acquiring a product and doing things, but communicating ideas and vision, which it's always up here. Yeah. But how do I get that into other people's hands and then allow them to be a part of that?
Right.
That's been a big difference too.
Yeah. So communicating clarity, making sure that everybody's kind of rowing in the same direction.
It's basic stuff that you hear all the time and read in every single book, but then you actually oh my gosh, that was real. I should actually do that.
I mean, you just said the story of my life. Yeah, I've read everything about how to be an amazing business leader, and I don't really realize I read it until after I ran into the problem that it was trying to help me avoid.
One of the most cliche things, honestly, the most cliche things that I swear by now, mission, vision, values.
Oh yeah.
Swear by it.
Shocker, right?
And I've heard that so much, and you're
just a minute
whatever.
Whatever, yeah, big corporate nonsense.
Yeah.
And so what does that mean for you now?
Well, it's how we guide our team. I mean, we have an international team, so many different backgrounds, so many different experiences. I mean, I have people who have never even worked in design. Our head of customer success was an AP high school history teacher.
Yeah.
So we have this mishmash, but everyone's committed and we're guided by those mission, vision, values to put those out there.
So it's again about clarity and making sure everybody's headed in the same direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good. So if you could, go back in time and give yourself a piece of advice, when you were, say, starting that design agency, what would your advice to yourself be?
So how far back in time?
Like the beginning of your career, like at the beginning of that agency.
Okay.
I mean,
don't start an agency. Get into development and build software. I mean, I've learned a lot.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you right there. You consider your design agency, this thing you're doing now, to be a software company?
So we are able to achieve our price model and our efficiencies. We do 400 jobs a day right now, design jobs, because of software.
Right.
So
we run custom.
Yeah. We run our own proprietary software that we've built. But at the end of the day, it is a service business.
Sure.
So it's kind of this mishmash. I call it a SaaS, as in service as a software.
So what you mean is do something scalable. Not really build software necessarily.
But find those simple problems to solve with software. And I learned that now later in my career, and I'm now pursuing that more aggressively in other areas. But yeah, that would be my tip: is don't try to do the old thing better. That's what the agency was. The Mad Men agency, I tried to make that cooler, and I tried to make that better.
How do you make that cooler? It was so cool.
Well, Mad Men was cool. Yeah. A show I had to stop watching with my significant other because I was I promise this is not how it really is. So.
Okay, so don't try to do the old thing better.
Yeah. Innovate.
Because everybody's doing that.
Yeah.
And try to do the new thing what, completely differently?
I would say try to do something new, but solve a simple problem too.
Solve a simple problem.
Yeah.
Which is the simple problem in your case is that design is expensive.
Yeah, it's hassle.
It's a hassle.
Or was, till Design Pickle came around.
Yeah, no longer a hassle.
No longer.
Cool. So something scalable, and you feel like software is is sort of the access to scalable solutions. Whether you sell the software itself or whether you use it internally to solve a complex problem like getting design done.
Yeah.
That would be the piece of advice. Is like quit screwing around with hourly work.
Exactly. Maybe like go out less. That'd be
maybe go out less.
That'd be another tip. Party less.
Okay, good.
I'm married with 3 kids now. Those days are a lot, but I went to Arizona State University, so let's just say there was a lot of nights where I could have been building stuff. I was out working on other projects.
Yeah, so. Got it. Okay, good. And if you look, kind of like forward to the end of your sort of career or even life, what do you imagine that you like your legacy to be? Like what are you working for?
Yeah, I think about this a lot. Our vision is to change lives through creativity. And I think I want to get to the point where I'm helping distribute free design education, allowing people to enter into the vocation of design without having to go to an expensive design school, without having to live in a city that like, a New York or Chicago or whatever, and allowing that access because it's an amazing career. Like everything needs to be designed at some point, and to be able to distribute that and make that just like massively available, that's where I want to get to.
Yeah, it's so interesting to, isn't it, to notice how many people come in here and talk, when you ask them about what their legacy is, they don't talk about their customers, they talk about their team and the difference that they feel like they can make for their people, right? Yeah. And so you're talking about, obviously for your people, but also for the entire industry. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, good. So it sounds like you're beginning to build a foundation where you might be able to do that through this business.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. Good.
So far, so good.
Yeah. Good. Well, congratulations. What do you feel like it means to be a modern entrepreneur?
A modern entrepreneur. I think it's about understanding the entire business life cycle. From the point someone sees your website for the first time, to understanding who you are, to experiencing those mission, vision, values, and how you deliver on everything that you're trying to sell people on. And you cannot succeed today unless you understand that full 360. The
whole process from first interaction all the way through the experience.
And beyond.
And beyond.
Yeah.
Interesting. And how do you think businesses got away without having that kind of vision in the past?
That's a good question. I think there was a lot of margin for error. I mean, you had to have a lot of money, you had to be a big enough size, and you can get away with a lot of crap. You could not care about your customer experience because you were the only game in town.
Yeah, you weren't competing with the whole world.
Exactly. I mean, we were chatting before how there's a lot of knockoff competitors that we're having. I don't worry about it because of our complete culture and the experience people have, but I also know I can't rest on that. Like I have to over deliver every single time because I make one wrong move and I can be gobbled up.
Yep.
So, that's now the reality of this economy. And I think it's like keeps everyone on their toes. And if you don't understand that, it's going to be just a couple of years. And
amazing for the consumers, right? Like amazing the sort of level of service and the level at which we need to be delivering in order to even be competitive today, huh?
And people want to care about a brand. They want to like it. It's not just good enough. I mean, I can think of a company in my hometown that's like not doing so great because they cared so much about their product and not about the experience and not about creating rabid fans and people who are passionate about your vision and meshed with that.
Right.
And you could have an okay product, but a ravenous fan base, and that's going to be the difference maker. You can have the best product in the world, but if you don't have something that someone actually is emotional about in a positive way, I guess, then it doesn't matter.
And what do you think makes people get emotional about a brand?
Being authentic and real and telling the truth and admitting when things suck and talking about things that are hard and doing stuff like this. I mean, this is like what people want to experience.
Yeah. And just real people being authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, interesting. Well, cool, man. Really great to have you on the show. Thank you so much
thank you
for doing it. I appreciate it. Will you sign our, wait, we didn't talk about your,
oh yeah.
What is this?
So in the spirit of creative marketing, me and my marketing director put out an EP. Go to designpickle.com/rock to get the digital download, but it is 2 fully produced albums about our design service. Two fully produced songs about our design service. And I just, I'm not gonna brag too much, but my wife, when I told her about this, she's like, what are you doing? Like, what do you do at work? And then, no joke, later that night, she was humming the tune of one of those songs.
Oh, bam!
So like, boom! Yeah, got you.
Awesome. Will you sign our wall?
Absolutely.
Let everything be done in service for the greater good of all as an expression of life purpose and getting closer to the source. So if I can keep that intention without getting any ideas of how it has to happen, then it hopefully will unfold the way it needs to, which is a challenge because, you know, you hear an advice, you want to do it, you get your expectations in the way of what you want from your actions. But if you just hold an intention of what you want to happen and then let the actions unfold more naturally, you're more likely to get the result you want or something better than what you started with. That's my opinion.